Hi there, I'm Eitan, and welcome back to Wix Wiz. Today we're going to be talking all about landing pages. First, I'm going to show you a general layout of a landing page and talk about the guiding principles for building one. Then we're going to go and hop in and build a landing page together on Wix, and I'm going to talk more about what makes a landing page unique and different than all the other pages on your website. Finally, after we build a landing page together, I'm going to talk a little bit about some important principles for how to place your landing page within your marketing funnel, how it should be related to whatever is leading people to your landing page, and how to do testing and tracking for your landing page, which are all keys for a successful landing page. I think this tutorial will be valuable for you even if you're not building your landing page on Wix. So even if you're a Squarespace or a WordPress or even just a hardcore web designer, then I recommend you stick along and let's get started. So as I mentioned, the things that I'm going to be explaining now are really relevant for any landing page that you're building. Even if you're not familiar with Wix, there's going to be a lot of valuable information here for your landing page. And what I've done here is first I've laid out just a very skeleton of what a landing page should include. And first of all, one thing that you'll notice is that there is no header and there is no real footer. And that is because one of the principles of a landing page is that we don't want people to be distracted. We really want to guide them to one very specific thing. And this would be a good point also to highlight the difference between, let's say, your home page and a landing page, because they're not really the same thing. They might include some of the same features, but your home page is really the entrance to your website. It gives a lot more information about your entire business, your entire organization, your entire hobby, whatever it is your website is for, than a landing page. A landing page has a very specific purpose, and that is to take a visitor from point A to point B. And this point B could be to fill out a certain form. It could be to provide their email address, to download a PDF, to purchase a product. But it's really something very specific. And it's not a page which is supposed to help them reach other pages on your website before they complete that action. And that's why we don't have our header, and we're not really going to have a footer. And as soon as this person reaches the page, obviously this part will not be included. This is just a title that I added here for the video. As soon as they reach the page, they will see here the hero section. And the hero section usually will have some kind of nice eye-catching image. It'll have a headline, so something quite clear, a title for the page, something related to the specific offering. And now I'm just kind of going through the principles, and in a moment we're going to implement this with an actual fake product so you can kind of see the actual implementation and get a much better idea for these things. I just want to give you kind of an overview of all the principles before we get nitty-gritty and start actually implementing. Headline, as I said, it's kind of like a title, and subline, just a little more explanation. And here, this is really the main feature of a landing page, and that is the CTA. That's the call to action. And this is basically what you're trying to get the user to on and do on this page. So this could be that download the PDF button. It could be maybe we have an email input near it, and you are asking people to submit their email so you can send them a free trial of something. Or maybe it says buy now to purchase the product. Okay, this could really be anything, but this is the main goal of what you're trying to get people to do on the landing page. And typically, this is what will define a conversion on your landing page. So conversion is a keyword in marketing and landing page lingo. And it really means that somebody came to your landing page and they did the action that they were supposed to do, and they converted from a visitor to a lead, or a buyer or a customer or a contact. Okay, whatever you defined that conversion as, but that is the conversion action. If they click the call to action and they follow through, then they're a conversion. And your whole landing page is built to get these people to take that action. And the next thing that's typically included in a landing page, again, the order might be different, and every landing page is its own use case, and there are probably different principles that apply to different industries and stuff like that. But typically, you will include benefits of whatever you're offering. So if you're offering a free trial, then you'll have benefits of the product that you're offering the free trial for. If you're offering a PDF, then you'll talk a bit about what people are going to gain by downloading your PDF or subscribing to your newsletter or whatever it is. And here again, we have our call to action, and this is going to be repeated throughout our landing page so that people don't have to make even the slightest effort to click on that call to action. It should be super easy to them no matter where they are on the page. The next thing that's typically included in a landing page is social proof. So you are going to include customer reviews. You're going to include logos of businesses that you work with and show that you really have expertise and that your product works and that whatever you're trying to get people to do here will actually benefit them. And the last thing that's sometimes included is either more information for people to get in touch with you and or a form for people to contact you or leave information. And this is kind of like your safety net at the bottom. If people went through your whole page and they didn't click the call to action and they didn't do anything, then here you can kind of have a last chance of kind of collecting some kind of information from them or letting them get in touch with you in some way and still not completely losing out on that visitor, even though it's not exactly the conversion that you were looking for. So now that we finished talking about the principles of the layout of the landing page, I want to actually go and build a landing page together and kind of reiterate some of these things and give examples. And after that, I'm also still going to be talking about some principles not related specifically to the layout of the landing page, but some other surrounding things that are important to think about when you're building your landing page. So, again, even if you're not a Wix user, I do recommend sticking around because there will be some more general valuable information regarding landing pages as we continue. So let's go ahead and build our landing page. So I'm going to go over here to Pages and Menu, and I'm going to add a page. And Wix also has this handy landing page button here on the side when you're building a new page. And you can see here some different kinds of concepts of landing pages, and this can give you an idea of what you want your landing page to look like. And as you can see, these are all kind of different. And they really emphasize the fact that even though we're talking about principles, different use cases have different implementations, and not every landing page is created the same, but you can see some of the things that we talked about here on these individual landing pages. I am going to start with a blank page just so we can build this out together. And I'm going to call it landing page. And the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to hide it from my menu. Okay, because a landing page is typically something that we're using to bring people from outside our website into the website, and it's not something that we're going to lead people to from inside the website. So once somebody's on my website, they're a regular visitor, they're using my site, I'm not going to be sending them to a landing page. A landing page is really where I want to collect visitors who are coming from the outside. They're coming from my ad campaign on Facebook, on Google. They're coming from SEO. And this is also something that we're going to talk about later on about that connection between where the leads are coming from and what we want to actually put on our landing page. But that's why I'm putting it here as hidden, because this is not something that I'm going to want to, for example, feature in the menu of our website, because I don't want visitors to stray there from inside my website. Another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to settings and go to layout, and I'm going to change it from standard to no header and footer. Because if you remember, I said we don't want to distract people. We don't want them leaving this page unless they are either completing the call to action or they're falling in the safety net. Okay, that's really what I want users to do on this page. So now that we've done that, we can start to lay out our site. And we are going to be building a landing page for a fake product. And this product is going to be the Wix wand. And this is going to be a wand that is used by people who are aspiring to be a Wix whiz and to create coded websites using magic. I'm very creative and I'm using ChatGPT and Midjourney to create all of the content and the artwork for this page. And I'm going to go ahead and start by building out our hero section. So I'm going to go and add a image, and I'm going to upload some images from my computer. And let's just see if I can find those. So I'm uploading 3 images that I created with Midjourney. And this is how it imagined a Wix wand would look with some instruction of mine. And I'm going to use this one for the header. So I'm going to go ahead for the hero section, I'm going to go ahead and add this to my site. And instead of adding it kind of like as an image, I'm actually just going to change the background of this strip to that. Let me go change background image, and I'm going to select that image that I just uploaded. Again, this isn't a design that actually doesn't look so great. That's disappointing. The quality of the images from Midjourney is not so amazing. So yeah, you might want to get better quality images when you're designing your actual website. Let's see if there's anything I can do to improve this. So let's head back. Bear with me here. I'm actually going to add it as just a plain image. Yeah, that looks a little better. For quality purposes, I'm just going to add it like this here to my hero section. And yeah, what I could try and do is try and even like cut out some of this. Like if I go to design, maybe it's in settings, and adjust. So you can try and do like a cutout here. So like you can auto cutout, see how that looks. Doesn't look so great, so I'm not going to use that. But that's, if you have kind of a sharper image, you can try using that to cut out an image for your website, which might look better, or use some other kind of party tool. But here I have my hero image. And here on the left, I'm going to be putting my header. So let's go ahead and pick text. And I'm going to add heading 1. You should typically, on every page of your site, you should have a heading 1. But specifically also on a landing page, your title is going to be the heading 1. And I am going to copy over the headline that ChatGPT has created for me. So that's right here. And I'm going to make this a little smaller just so we have room also for our subheadline. So I'm going to go ahead and make this maybe 40. And now I'm going to add a paragraph that will serve for the subheadline and copy that in there. Okay, so we have a title, Unleash the Magic of Custom Code with Wix Wand, and a kind of another in-depth explanation about what this product does. This could be 1 sentence, it could be 2 sentences, and I'm going to add my call to action. So I'm going to add a button, and let's just style this a little bit. So I like round buttons, so that we can do here using corners. And if you put the pixel really, really high, so it'll make it round. So if I put like 1,000, then it becomes a round button. And I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm going to change the text to be my call to action. So here, the call to action that ChatGPT gave is a little big, a little long, but I think it's decent. I think somebody might actually click on that. And we could change the colors and stuff to make it fit a little better. I can even change the background of the section to fit this whole design a little better. So maybe, I don't know, that's a pretty ugly light green. These days, white backgrounds are most popular. But depending on your industry, maybe I can change this to something like a green. Again, this is not a design a design focused. Let's add a color here. I don't know, something like that. Okay, this is not a design tutorial, so don't like take any design tips out of here per se, but just principles of a landing page. So we have here our title, we have our sub headline, and we have, make these a little longer maybe even, and we have our call to action. Okay, what we want to get people to do when they land on our site. Okay, so that does it for our hero section. And now I'm going to add another section under it, and I'm going to add a blank section. And here we're going to really list some of the benefits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another image in here. And you want to keep, your landing page interesting, so it's important to add, some imagery and stuff. Oh, here we actually have it here. So let's add this one. This one's pretty, you know, grabbing, I think. I think it's even better quality than the other one that I got there. And I'm going to add this here to this section. Get a little taller. Get a little taller. So it kind of lines up over there. Excellent. And now here I'm going to add the benefits of the product. So let's go over here, and I'm going to add a text. I'm going to add a heading 2. And I'm not going to give it the title of benefits because that's, I don't know, kind of cliche. I'm going to say why you need Wix Wand. And I'm just going to change the text maybe 30. And then I'm going to add a paragraph. And this paragraph is just going to have some bullet points that ChatGPT wrote out for me. So I'm just copying over those bullet points. And of course, don't forget your call to action. And it's a good idea to like change up the wording of the call to action a little bit, because basically if they scrolled past this, then that means that this didn't convince them enough. So then maybe here we need to say, free Wix Wand trial. That's not really a call to action, so it's like get a free Wix trial. So you see, like I'm using a verb here for get, start. Okay, these are really call to actions. You don't want to write something that's not, inducing somebody to make action. That's not. So that's why I purposely use a verb here. Start, get, call. That's always good practice when designing your call to actions. Okay, again, the design is not beautiful, but we have our benefits here. We have hero section, we have benefits, and I'm going to add another section, and this is going to be for our social proof. And I'm going to add kind of another image here. So let's add our last image. Smaller. And kind of line it up. Excellent. And here, so when you're listing the social proof, so there are different approaches you can take. We can go and add some logos for some companies or something like that. So let's see if in Free from Wix we have any interesting logos here. Um, yeah, so I can go ahead. Let's pretend this is the logo of a company. And make that a little smaller. And then I can add a text like heading 2. And this is like our clients, or, you know, top businesses already working with us. Okay, and then you have here logos of businesses that are working with you. Or it's always a good idea to have like an image of a person. Um, so let's say, let's look for another free free images from Wix, sorry. And then here, this person smiling, playful senior woman. And let's crop this. Whoops. Crop, make it a square. And then put it circle. Excellent. And make that smaller. And here we can add, instead of the businesses, so what people are saying about Wix Wand. And then here we have our lovely senior, what was it, senior lady? And then we can add another text box. And we have here our kind of feedback that we got from Jenna, small business owner. Make it a little smaller. And let's just get that down there. Maybe make this italics, something like that. Okay, so this is an example of social proof. And you're going to want to have more than one review. So you could either kind of add some reviews listed one after the other. Another idea might be to add like a slider. So here, if you go to list, is it not here under list? Oh, interactive. Sorry. So you can go here and put in like a slideshow, box slideshow, something like this. Make that a lot smaller. Get rid of all this stuff in the slides. And then kind of add, let's just make it kind of like a green background. And then we can add Jenna into our slideshow. And then we can have several of these kind of sliding through with different customers. Okay, so these are just different ideas for how to present the social proof. Always helpful to add like stars or something like that. So if you add 5 stars or ratings, 5 out of 5, that can be very helpful. There are also a lot of cool tools which can allow you to show ratings from other sources. So for example, if your business has ratings kind of on your Google page, or if you have ratings on Facebook or stuff like that, different apps, and I'm not going to list specific ones, but you can just find an app that will let you embed that here into your social proof area, which could be kind of really helpful. So this is just one example of if you're doing it by hand. Looks ugly, but not too bad. And that's an example of social proof. And then at the end here, we are going to add one last section. And this is going to have, let's say, a form. So I'm going to look for contact and forms and put this form right here on the bottom. And I'm going to say to learn more about Wix Wand. Okay, so this is kind of my last safety net for people to kind of contact me. Here, I forgot, and maybe some of you caught that. I didn't add my call to action. Add that right here. And let's think of another clever thing. Try Wix Wand now. Okay. Another example of, using a verb, using something to really call people to action and take action on your page. And that is the basic layout of a landing page. Obviously, every landing page is a little different. It could be you'll have a landing page that instead here will be, let's say, with an input. So you can have another form here, contact and forms, and we'll get like one of these simple subscribe forms. And then here we'll have join our Wix Wand newsletter. Okay, and we'll have that here instead of the CTA that we have. Okay, just another example. And again, I built this on Wix, but to be honest, everything I said here can be done on another kind of web platform. You could even build it from scratch, HTML, CSS, JavaScript if you'd like. And now I really want to talk about some other principles related to landing pages that are not related directly to the landing page design. And let's start with before people reach your landing page. So it's very important to make sure that there is correlation between whatever drove people to your landing page and your landing page. So if people are coming to it naturally, like through SEO or something like that, then you have a little less control. You're building an ad campaign, you're sending out an email to drive people to your landing page, then you really want to make it correlated. And to demonstrate this, I have here the Facebook ad library. And if you're not familiar with this kind of lets you search through all the Facebook ads that exist. And you can really see also the ads, but also the landing pages that people created that are related to those ads. So let's say I'm looking for an ad here that's related to website builder. Let's see what kind of ads we have. No, not code emoji. Website builder. And let's see, website builders. And now Facebook is looking for something. Okay, so we have this authority builders, and basically when I click on this ad, we should go to their landing page. So I'm clicking here, and this is the landing page that this authority builders website built. So you can see here that in some ways they did not kind of build it according to the principles that we outlined. So they have their header here. They really, but it is a specific page. So it's not their home page that they took us to, but it is a specific page for this ABC Plus. And the idea here that I'm trying to demonstrate with the ad library is that you really want to have correlation between your ad or your campaign or whatever is driving people to the site and the landing page. So you could see here that in their ad they list here the ABC Plus. And then when I click on the page and I go to the landing page, when I click on the ad and I go to the landing page, you can see this is a landing page built specifically for ABC Plus. So that is the kind of correlation that you're going to be looking for, because if somebody clicks on an ad that's for one thing and they reach a landing page that's for another thing, you're going to lose that lead, you're going to lose that conversion. So you really want to make sure that you have correlation. Let's just give another example here. So let's see if, let's Squarespace, just to give people except for Wix a chance. So with Squarespace, okay, Squarespace tools making viewing, editing, and selling on mobile simple. And I click on that landing page, and you can see here that I got to a page where we have a mobile phone in the kind of the hero image. And if I scroll down a bit, then we should see some more mobile related things. So here, the future of mobile optimization. There are some other unrelated things on this page, but as soon as I landed on the page, there was a relationship between the ad and the landing page. And again, just because this is Squarespace and they're a big company, it doesn't mean that they're perfect. So just because they built a landing page like this doesn't mean that this is the way to build a landing page. For example, I think that there aren't enough call to actions on this page because I'm just kind of scrolling through. And let's say I'm convinced and I want to join Squarespace or whatever. So I have this get started button up here, but I don't really have any call to actions here in the flow. So I don't know if that's ideal. Here, this at the end, I'm kind of just at the end of the page, or I thought I was. Okay, here. So finally I have a get started somewhere towards the end of the page. You know, it's a matter of taste. Obviously, they have huge marketing teams behind these pages, so who am I to say that this isn't a good landing page? But just some examples. Really, what I wanted to highlight is the importance of the correlation between the thing that is leading people to your landing page and the landing page itself, because that's really part of the whole experience. A landing page is part of marketing, it's part of a whole funnel that you're building, and you have to have that in mind when you're building your landing page. The last thing that I want to talk about, or actually the second to last thing that I want to talk about, is testing. And it's related to the last thing that I want to talk about, which is tracking. And testing is a really important part of building landing pages because nobody gets it right the first time. And we have to do a lot of testing in order to see how we can optimize our web page. And in order to actually measure the testing, we need to do tracking. So the general testing that's done on a landing page is also known as A/B testing. So basically, that means that we are going to build several versions of the landing page and test out different ones. So for example, I have one landing page where my button is green, and then I have another landing page where my button is another color, let's blue. Okay, and this is just an example of a small change, but we can change anything. We can change wording, we can change imagery, layout of the page. And when you're doing this testing, so again, things can get opinionated here. So what I'm saying here is my experience, my what I know from research, but there could be other experts that have different opinions about these things. But when you're doing testing, you're usually only going to want to change one thing on the page to compare accurately. So you know what it is you're testing and that the change in actions that people are taking on the page or behavior on the page is really a result of the test that you're doing. Because if I change this button and I change this image and I find out that the page is more successful, so now I don't know if it was because of the button, it was because of the image, it was because of both. Obviously, if you don't have an endless budget and you want to try and cut back on time and you make, let's say, three different versions that are quite significant and have different changes, and you test all those three out and you find which one is the best, then that's also an option. I'm not saying that you cannot by any means change more than one thing. It's just for the most accurate testing, you're going to want to change one thing at a time. So how do we actually do this testing? So there are several different approaches and ways that we can do this. So for example, here, so what I can do is I can go ahead to this landing page and I can just duplicate it. And then I have landing page version 2. And, some people I send to version 1 and some people I send to version 2, where I have this slightly different button design. And then I need to measure where I'm getting more conversions. So am I getting more conversions from this button or from one of my other buttons on the other landing page? That's one approach. Within Wix, there's also the option to use the release manager. So if I go ahead and I publish this site as is, then I can go ahead and change the color of this button. So let's change the color. Let's make it black. And then instead of clicking publish up here on the upper right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to site, and then I'm going to go create test site. Okay, so this creates a test site, and now here I can manage the exposure. So I could set the percentage of visitors who will see this version of my site with the new landing page. So I'm going to click Release Manager. And then over here, we have the test site and version 11, exposure 0, and here exposure 100. So now 100% of the people are seeing this version and nobody's seeing my new version. But I could go over here and edit exposure and change this to, let's say, 50%. So now 50% of the people visiting my site will see this live site and 50% will see this test site. And this is a good start, but we still need to implement tracking in order to understand the people's behavior on each one of these test sites, or even if we created multiple landing pages. And there are different options for tracking these things. We can use things like Google Analytics. We can also use the built-in Wix Analytics. We can also install different software like Hotjar, which can let us see actual recordings of behavior of people on the website and heat maps and stuff like that. But along with testing as principle, you'll need to have some kind of tracking as well, so you can really measure the behavior and measure, which version of your landing page is converting the best. And there are also some more advanced tools which can really let you completely overhaul the whole testing and tracking experience. And they're external to Wix and they're much more complex and sometimes more costly than what I just demonstrated to you now. But depending on the scale of your business and your technical savvy, then you might be able to use some of those tools as well. So just to wrap up for today, we talked a little bit about the general layout of a landing page. We talked about how the landing page should fit into your funnel. And we talked about following up on your landing page, doing testing, and doing tracking. I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and go ahead and buy yourself a Wix wand so that you can become a Wix whiz yourself. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.